Not a lot of things get my dick harder than Wolfenstein, okay? You doing this? And then the next minute you're doing this. You skip ahead 3 years and boom, sequel. But there's a slight problem. In the current mainstream political climate, it seems that anything right up here is written off by this as this. Which means that if this goes anywhere near the development of this, then it goes from Audie Murphy power fantasy to bash the fucking fash. Sure enough, stuff like this starts happening before it's released. Anyone could predict that if this made this and did this, then anyone who critiqued the shit is instantly this. Here I am to do just that. So put on your Schutzstaffel uniform because you're probably gonna get called a Nazi anyways. Now let's make one thing fucking clear. I didn't jump into this game wanting it to be some communist train wreck.
What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free.
But I became skeptical of buying it after I saw the controversy and the piles and piles of negative Steam reviews, most of which aren't even to do with what I'll be talking about today. And after seeing all that, I figured I might as well just watch a no commentary instead. No, but for real, you go into a coma and you go into like Vietnam flashback mode, which is where I get to my first note that I made. The entirety of the flashbacks. Now in the first game, BJ would hint in the gameplay that he had a fairly normal, country boy life in Texas, where he swam in lakes and shot BB guns. This is entirely blown away as your flashback reveals that you now had a Jewish mom and a laughably racist, out-of-touch and evil dad. He's really the only reason why I mark these flashbacks down.
He knows goddamn well not to spend time with some dirty little nigger girl.
Whole character seems like it was wrote to make people hate racism, like they don't already hate it. And I mean, I'm not exaggerating. The first thing that you see him do is punish you for kissing that little nigger girl under the poplar tree.
I have worked too hard for too damn long to lose my reputation because my boy is sweet on some nigger.
How does he punish you, you ask? By beating his wife, beating the dog for defending his wife, and then making you shoot the dog. As expected, race division is a big theme in this game. And certainly not the race division is bad theme. The white people are this theme. You then fight through an irradiated Manhattan, which looks like any part of Fallout 3, to get to another resistance cell that you need to link up with. And then you scale the state building in this snake eater ladder, only to be met with...
Just who the fuck are you, white boy?
A literal fucking parallel to the Black Panthers! They then realize you aren't a conservative and invite you in for a spot of tea, and then she whips out her titty and little Fash Basher goes to town.
With her boob coming out?
It makes people feel uncomfortable.
Monsters did this.
Not monsters. Men.
Now that statement in and of itself could be interpreted as mankind.
She had balls of steel.
Balls. Why is it that balls are always used as some fucking default definition of badassery? Small, little, delicate things. Resting all snug and warm and cozy and comfortable in their little wrinkly wrapper of fucking skin.
I don't even know if this is man bashing or just some girl power shit.
Do you think Margaret Thatcher had girl power?
Yes, of course.
Do you think she effectively utilized girl power by funneling money to illegal paramilitary death squads in Northern Ireland?
I don't know about that.
Little side note, I'm not even mad at Grace's character because she's all like racy and everything. She's just a fucking bitch. She's such an unlikable character. It's like they wrote her for you to hate her. And she's supposed to be like the charismatic resistance leader.
We've been fighting every motherfucking day, Blazkowicz. White America, though? They done packed up and given in. See, I guess they don't have the fighting spirit no more. Nah, they just do whatever the fucking Fuhrer tells them to do.
That's baloney.
There shouldn't be this white America, black America bullshit. There should just be American. Probably the most well-known gem at this point of its release is whenever Franz and Kaiser are having a good little in-game chat for you to listen in on.
Ich habe kein Verständnis für Terroristen. Wie können sie Gewalt gegen uns gutheißen, nur weil wir anderer Ansicht sind? Doch auch Menschen. Gewalt führt nur zu noch mehr Gewalt.
Das stimmt. Gewalt ist niemals in Ordnung. Niemals.
Was für eine Gesellschaft wäre das, wenn ich jeden töten würde, der meine Ansicht nicht teilt?
Kriegsgebiet haben. Das wäre ein Kriegsgebiet.
Well, shit on my dick and call me Adolf. That sounds an awful lot like something we hear nowadays. Sounds like overt irony to whenever anybody condemns the stifling of free speech by a bunch of radical communists. Now, I could ramble on for 5 more minutes about that, but instead, how about I tell you that you see your dad again, patiently waiting to end your life?
What happened is we had a big goddamn war, and now we got a new government with new rules. They took her. She gone. And what's that queer outfit you're wearing? They rounded up all the Jews and the coloreds and the queers. This is a white man's world now. White man's got to keep it Christian. What?
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, there they go, painting Christianity as a religion for white nationalists. Gee, I better go tell Tyler Perry, T.D. Jakes, Steve Harvey, and everybody else that they can't be Christians anymore. You can't do that anymore, that's against the rules. They partially redeem this by giving you a bitchin' takedown scene.
Down on your fucking knees.
Was a time I was scared of you. Was a time I'd have pissed myself, had a gun pointed at my head. You know what I feel right now? Not a goddamn thing.
Now after this, surprisingly, there was a big gap where the writing was actually not atrocious.
Nice job, team.
This isn't a point, I think it's funny that Bombate's into fat chicks. After discovering that, we're back to it. You link up with another resistance cell who, unsurprisingly, is just as bad as the first one. Except this time, they're anarcho-communist.
Oh, we be the outcast, the poor. Well, everyone who ain't part of the American goddamn bourgeois. Paris Jack is a brawler, a cutter, a true believing anarchist. We've been fighting for a revolution since long before them Nazis came here. We were the first to start build a civil rights movement to advocate equality for everyone. You know the concept of civil rights, Terrabelli? No, you don't. You're just a jarhead, ain't you?
Buddy, I laid my life on the line for freedom, justice, and the American way, while you and your bohemian friends were passing out Bolshevik propaganda and opposing the draft on every street corner. What good is your fucking equality? You can't muster the backbone to stick up for your people while the coyote's scratching at your front door.
We stood up against the imperialist war machine in the United States of America and the greedy money men of Wall Street who was itching to send the children of the proletariat off to die in foreign lands so that they could be filling their coffers.
Man, fuck you.
Now, I like that here they at least show that BJ is against their utopian bullshit, but you inevitably join forces, meaning this is another time where they treat commie scum like they're any fucking better than Nazis. That's my main complaint with the game. They seem to want to portray Bolshevism like countless people weren't rounded up and fucking shot. Like millions of people didn't starve to death because of the government's fuck-ups. It's still happening today in places like Venezuela. Stop romanticizing communism. Now I leave you with this.